If you have an LLC or S Corp, you need to watch this video. There is a new law that goes into effect January 1st of next year. And if you do not abide by the rules, you can get charged $500 per day up to $10,000. And if you willfully neglect to file the paperwork, you can get up to 2 years of jail time. And I want to make sure my community is taken care of because we don't want no jail time. Now let's get into who this law is actually for. If you have an existing LLC or corporation and you file formation paperwork with your Secretary of State, then this law applies to you. If you plan in the coming days or next year to file an LLC or corporation, this law also applies to you. Now let's talk about what even is this law. And so the law is called the Corporate Transparency Act, also known as the CTA. And this law was passed by Congress January 1st of 2021. Shockingly enough, both Democrats and Republicans agreed they needed to know who was running different businesses. Over the past year, we've had a bunch of former CEOs pop up in the news of stealing millions, if not billions of dollars from its clients. And Congress came together and said enough was enough and that they were going to require, effective January 1st of 2020, for all businesses to disclose who was the person behind the business. The real reason that you should care about this law is because you as an LLC or corporation owner, you have to get this paperwork filed, or you face fines, jail time, or both. And so this will be an additional requirement in addition to all the other tasks that you have to do to make sure that you're running your business. It's a task that you have to complete, and you have to make sure it's up to date if any of your business information were to change. Now let's go into the details about what does this paperwork actually include. So when it comes to what you have to file for your business, there's two sides. There's the business that's existed, and then there's the business that was formed after January 1st of 2024. For the existing business, you have to fill out paperwork about the company as well as the beneficial owners. When it comes to the business that was filed after January 1st, you have to fill out paperwork on the company, the beneficial owners, as well as the company applicant. And so breaking that down a little bit more, when it comes to the information that you have to report on your company, you first need to be able to share your company's full legal name. Secondly, you need to share any DBAs that you have. Third, you need to share your business's principal address. Fourth, you need to be able to share the jurisdiction in which your business was formed. And lastly, you need to share the taxpayer identification number, also known as your EIN. And then when it comes to what you need to share as the beneficial owner of the business, you need to give your full legal name, your date of birth, your place of residence, which means you'll need to share your personal address or where you currently live, your personal identification number, which is likely your social security card, and your driver's license. And lastly, you'll need to share an image of your social security card as well. And so that takes care of the existing businesses. If you plan on forming a business in 2024, you also need to share the company applicant. The company applicant includes the person that filed your LLC paperwork. So if you paid for a person to form your business, they're now going to have to share their personal address. The same goes for the business formation company, which means that there's probably going to be a lot more rules and restrictions for that business owner that decides to do shady things. Let's talk about the timeline. If your business is filed after January 1st of 2024, you have 90 days from business formation to report that information to FinCEN. After 90 days, that's when the money will start adding up and you'll be hit with $500 per day fine. And so the name of the paperwork required for each business is called the Beneficial Ownership Information Report, or the BOI report for short. You're going to get access to this report on the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, and it'll become active on the FinCEN's website. You won't be able to access this form until January 1st of 2024. And now let's talk about the few companies that are exempt from filing the BOI report. And so that includes publicly traded companies. So think really big companies like Microsoft and Apple. Also, some accounting and insurance companies don't have to fill out the BOI report. Also, if your small business meets the following 3 requirements, you do not have to submit a BOI report. The first requirement is that your business employs over 20 people. The second requirement is that you have a physical U.S. address. And the third requirement is that your business made over $5 million in annual revenue for 2023. And so those are the main businesses that are exempt from having to fill out the BOI report. So when it comes to next steps, the first step that you should do is plan out your 2024. If you believe that your business is going to go through a name change, or you're going to change your business address, like switching from your home address to a virtual office, you should submit the paperwork after you do those changes, because the BOI report needs to be the most up-to-date information, and you have only 30 days to make those updates. If you are planning on starting a business, one thing that I need to point out to you is that for new businesses that are formed after January 1st of 2024, you have 90 days to correctly submit the BOI report. It previously was 30 days until a bunch of business owners pushed back and said that they needed more time. It's easy to lose track of paperwork and dates, but when it comes to this report right here, there's no room for error. I typically don't recommend this, but I would form the LLC in December. There's a bunch of things up in the air as it relates to this paperwork, and I wouldn't want to do it wrong. Businesses that are formed before January 1st of 2024 have a lot more flexibility and have a lot more time when it comes to filing proper documentation to abide by this law. And so if you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments below, as I'd be more than happy to answer. I cannot wait to see you next time. Peace, stay building, bye.